Number 11 is those New York Jets. They finished 7-9, which is not bad at all. Let's see here. Jets won 6 of the last 8 games to finish 7-9, averting total disaster. But they did get it against the NFL's easiest schedule. So if you look at it, they won week 6 versus the Cowboys, 24-22. That was a shock against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And then here goes the run. Week 10 versus the Giants, they won 34-27. Week 11 at the Redskins, 34-17. Week 12 against the Raiders, 34-3. Week 14 versus the Dolphins, 22-21. Week 16 versus the Steelers, 16-10. And then week 17 at Buffalo, 13-6. So, Adam Gase looks like he's staying on.
I did say he should have gone. And I still believe that. I still believe he should go. As you say, they had the easiest schedule, statistically. They didn't... It's almost like they were allergic to the run because they were the second best team defending the run, and their premier running back they spent huge amounts of cap space on for a running back, especially had the longest individual run of 19 yards. Lev Bell's better than that.
He is better than that.
It's the Jets are what they are.
I am's what I am.
Then there is not a huge amount of talent on that O-line. And without an effective O-line, it's difficult to be successful. That has to be one of their major priorities. I'm not even going to say going into the draft. That's why I'm hesitating. I think it's something they need to address in free agency.
You should never go into a draft hungry, Dave. I always say this.
They have to address it in free agency. And the reason I'm saying that is because they need about 3 or 4 guys. Yeah. Not necessarily guys. They don't need a tackle who's a star. They need someone like Ryan Ramczyk, for example, play right tackle, covers well, nothing special, doesn't put guys on their back. He's just solid and plays every single down. That's what they need. And someone who's fit constantly. Broncos went and got Juwan James, played 3 games. They need solid guys. They need a couple of guards. I mean, a new center. They need everything. They've got a really very good quarterback who's not being given a chance at the moment. They have 0 run game. They have to keep hold of Jamal Adams. Ryan Khalil and Robbie Anderson are both free agents. I mean, it's not the job that you want. It's really not, because there's a lot of issues with that Jets personnel at the moment.
I think they're keeping him and their first year general manager Joe Douglas as well.
Yeah, I think he'll stay. If he was going to go, he'd be gone by now.
Yeah, but like I said, you don't draft hungry. You don't go food shopping on an empty stomach.
No.
Otherwise, you make a lot of bad mistakes.
Yes, you do.
Spending too much. Same thing with the draft. And the Jets haven't spent the first round pick on an offensive player who's not a quarterback since selecting tight end Dustin Keller, number 30th in 2008.
Jesus.
This would be a good spot to grab their first round defensive tackle since 3-time Pro Bowler D'Brickashaw Ferguson in 2006.
I'm not sure the offensive tackle they want is going to be there at this point in the draft.
Maybe. There's a lot of quarterbacks need taking.
There are, but there's also a lot of offensive tackles that need to go as well, or offensive linemen. Again, you don't. They need to have a good look at themselves in the off season and get players who want to be there, because typically we've seen players go there not necessarily who want to be there, but are going there to be paid, and it's happened so often. Yeah, Le'Veon Bell, CJ Mosley. It happens all the time.
Becomes a dumping ground, doesn't it, for unwanted players. Well, we'll see, and hopefully there'll be another step up by Quinnen Williams as well, because he has got a genuine talent at defensive tackle.
He has, and you want him to play more, because it didn't really happen. It just didn't happen for him this year. I mean, I think he only played 6 or 7 games. Yeah, it wasn't a huge amount, and when he did play, there was a couple of times he had to come off because of injuries. There was one point he had to come off because his pads were slipping. I mean, when does that ever happen? Yeah. Why should that happen? I mean, that is a sign that things just aren't being done correctly. It's just, things do not look good for the Jets.
Well, fingers crossed.